Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Goose Island. This is their Oktoberfest. I just cracked this one up. I haven't actually tried it yet. Had to reshoot. But, oh wow. First I'll talk about Goose Island. They're being produced out of Chicago, Illinois, and Baldwinsville, New York. Is that where Blue Point is producing beer? Maybe. I actually don't know. Where's Baldwinsville? I don't know. I'm from Long Island, so I actually should know, but I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this beer. This is their take on medicine, 5.7%. The beers were buy one, get one at Publix. So I obviously picked up this, and then I picked up the Goose Island IPA. I skipped on like Neon Beer Hug, Tropical Beer Hug, whatever. I don't like those newer brands. So let's check this one out. Beer comes in a really nice kind of light amber color, deep gold. Nice clarity, slightly off-white head. On the nose, it smells like lager, honestly. It smells like has this like crisp freshness to it, even though it's medicine should have a little bit more maybe a little bit more malt depth. But the Ainga also had this malt character. Yeah, grainy, husky, Cheerios, toasted bran. A lot of cereal notes in this guy, right? It's just malt, really. Ideally, the beer just shows malts, at least aromatically and flavor-wise, right? Oh yeah, pretty nice and crisp. Yeah, that's good. So I will say, this is not on the spectrum of like more exaggerated versions of Manson, which can be a little bit darker, a little bit more malt forward, a little bit more hop forward, being American. This honestly is a little bit of like a reminder of the Ainga, because like I recently just did that 3 Oktoberfest blind tasting, and the Ainga stood out as a little bit lighter, paler, blah blah blah. This sort of reminds me of that. Like, could this just be budget Ainga? It has a really nice kind of grapey tone up front, which I usually associate with not a grapey tone, but like yeah, like actually these are different things. White grape is different from like grape nuts, but it has a bran kind of flavor to it, like raisin bran, or whatever that other cereal that's supposed to be really good for you that comes in like tiny cylinders. I haven't eaten cereal in like the longest time, so yeah, but it's bran, right? So that's the analogy I can give you. Clean, yeah, nice. Slight fruitiness comes in here. I get a little bit of this kind of like what is that fruit? Jeez, raw dates, kind of like fruitiness in here. Red fruit, a little bit of apple, right? Light kind of herbal hoppiness on the back end. It's really actually quite nice. I might actually pick up more of this guy, because if this is a lager, again, you're crushing it if you're buying lager at like $5-6 for a 6 pack, for the week, right? Or specifically for that week, and then you get to use it for the rest of the month. That's always my goal. It's honestly really tasty. It doesn't taste too much like the more malty versions of Manson. It honestly tastes more like, I guess, Ainga, which is this really like pale-ish kind of Manson that sort of tastes a little bit like Fespia. Just the deepest it goes in that is that like lightly toasted bran, like a brownish kind of bran flavor. But in general, it's like cornflakes. Again, you think about cereal, cornflakes, Cheerios, lightly toasted bread, a little bit of bread crust in there, a little bit of herbal hop character. Quite nice. And really, the recipe here is actually traditionally from Marzen medicine should be a lot, just almost all Vienna and Munich malts, which are malts that have a little bit more color, and you just completely they have enough actually enzymes that you can use them completely in a recipe, versus American recipes well, especially like breweries that make a lot of different beers, this goes towards more I guess American and a British brewing, where most of the malt you use will be like a two-row, a pale malt, which is ideally what this is, and then they actually the recipe says a little bit of Munich, and then they also use C20 and C40. So those are crystal malts, and the higher you go is obviously a little bit darker. So you're coloring the beer, and obviously adding a little bit of depth of character, but I think those are probably your coloring malts. So you offer a little bit more depth of flavor and color with those other malts. So right, like you get a blank slate, and then you're coloring on top of that versus just starting with the color brown on a canvas, right? So that's sort of like the analogy of what you can do with creating these recipes. Not traditional, but the beer is actually very tasty. So let's go for rating. Honestly, I sort of like the fact that it's not a Metzen. Like, it doesn't really taste like a Metzen. It really tastes more like Festbier. I like they go say German style Metzen, but like when they say German style Festbier, I think nobody will understand what that means. This is really a Festbier. It's deep gold. Like, it might be a little too dark, but like, light. I call that light amber, but I think it's in between deep gold and light amber, and it really tastes a lot more like Festbier than Metzen. So, then again, I thought that about the Einga Metzen, so maybe I should like reevaluate what I'm thinking these days, right? Either way, it's right there. Absolutely delicious. I actually really like this beer. 92. I'm impressed for big brewery making these beers. It's obviously owned by AB InBev, Goose Island, blah blah. But they still own the brand actually because like they still sold a bunch of brands. They kept Goose Island. Yeah, they kept Goose Island. So cool stuff. 92. This is really good. I recommend it, especially if we can get it for my price of buy one get one. Cheers later.